Day one of the Democratic National Convention proved that the party was still divided. Here in Philadelphia, the Eagles weren't the only prominent bird. On the second day of the convention, the Democrats plan on making history by nominating Hillary Clinton to be the first woman on top of a major U.S. ticket party. Reporting from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, I'm Dyuce Woodson, CBS News. Yes, this house right here. And according to Wise, the band has been able to reach a fan base by simply performing live and not relying heavily on Facebook or other social media. Now, you might be thinking one of the reasons why these students have to live in the dorms is to help bring back revenue to the school. However, they are apples and oranges. Housing fees don't factor into tuition, and the U of O doesn't get much state funding for either. Welcome to CBS This Morning. I'm Dyuce Woodson. We begin this out with life after terror and fear. 1 month after a gunman stormed an Orlando nightclub, killing 49 people and wounding 53 others, the LGBT community in particular has been personally affected and is dealing with the trauma. Avery Travis is here now to tell us more. Avery? Layoffs hit a record low in June, down 1.1 for the month, but the same Labor Department report shows the rate of hiring has failed to improve, even though the number of job openings has increased. The Dow lost 37 and the NASDAQ was down 20. The world's biggest advertiser is scaling back its use of targeted Facebook ads. Procter & Gamble, the makers of Pampers diapers and Cascade detergent, says after several years of aiming advertising at Facebook users with specific shopping histories or demographics, they're returning to a broader advertising strategy. And Girl Scouts will have some new cookies to offer next year. 2 s'more-themed cookies were announced today. One sports a crispy graham dipped in creme icing and covered in chocolate. The other is a graham sandwich with chocolate and marshmallow filling. That's your Money Watch in New York. I'm Dyuce Woodson. On the eve of the 2016 Democratic National Convention, the Democrats have a new email scandal to address. Tonight, First Lady Michelle Obama and Senator Bernie Sanders will kick things off in the city of brotherly love. Reporting from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, with CBS News, I'm Dyuce Woodson. University of Oregon senior Quinn Wise taught himself how to play guitar at 16 and began writing his own songs less than a year ago. Since then, he and his band, The Heads Up, is in high demand.
In an 11-week term, we were invited to play somewhere upwards of 8 times.
Packing the most modest of venues, including Wise's own home. Yes, this house right here. And according to Wise, the band has been able to reach a fan base by simply performing live and not relying heavily on Facebook or other social media.
The odds of getting discovered from intense live music are pretty close to nothing, but I think they're a few notches above being tagged in some random Facebook video.
University of Oregon Assistant Professor of Marketing, Troy Campbell, says building a community first is key to establishing a fan base.
So to succeed on the internet today, you have to build a relationship with your fans.
Instead of flooding Facebook and other social media with new songs, Campbell says fans want more than just music.
Be yourself, because when you are yourself, you put out the value proposition to people that you can actually make good on.
Wise thinks he's found the niche.
I just think we're a good, friendly Eugene band.
Dyuce Woodson, Oregon News. Senior Carissa Agabon has been an RA for 3 years. Despite having her housing covered, she still worries about tuition.
It's definitely getting harder to make ends meet.
With the new added cost, she also worries about future first-year students.
It's going to probably become more of a problem starting next year with a living requirement.
Now, you might be thinking one of the reasons why these students have to live in the dorms is to help bring back revenue to the school. However, they are apples and oranges. Housing fees don't factor into tuition, and the U of O doesn't get much state funding for either.
It's frustrating.
Senior Director of Public Affairs Communications for the UO, Tobin Klinger, says the lack of state funding does a disservice to the state of Oregon.
It does create challenges for students when you see the cost of education continue to rise.
With the lack of funding, the university relies heavily on out-of-state tuition. Almost half the school aren't Oregon residents. Agabon is an Oregon resident and sympathizes with priced-out students.
I feel for the people that have to deal with that 10% increase for the next 4 years.
Dyuce Woodson, Oregon News.